The summer of 2025 in Washington, D.C. was marked by heartbreak and a sense of collective loss that rippled through every neighborhood. The city, known for its monuments and bustling political life, found itself shrouded in grief as tragedy struck not once, but twice, in quick succession. Within just a few days, 2 promising young lives were lost to senseless violence, leaving families, friends, and entire communities reeling. The pain was palpable, as if the city itself was mourning alongside those who knew and loved the victims. Eric Tarpinian Jackum, just 21 years old, had come to Washington from Kansas, eager to make a difference as a congressional intern. Zoe Kelly, only 17, was a vibrant local teenager, beloved by her family and friends, with dreams and ambitions that stretched far into the future. Their faces, once full of hope and possibility, became haunting reminders of lives interrupted. At first, their deaths seemed like separate tragedies, random acts of violence in a city all too familiar with loss. But as investigators dug deeper, a disturbing connection emerged. Both cases were linked by a tangled web of violence involving a small group of young suspects, raising urgent questions about how and why such devastation could occur. Eric had come to D.C. with a sense of purpose, determined to serve his country and learn the inner workings of government. He was known for his kindness, his work ethic, and his unwavering belief in the power of public service to change lives for the better. Zoe, meanwhile, was a bright light in her community, a beloved daughter, a loyal friend, and a young woman with her whole life ahead of her. She was passionate about art, loved spending time outdoors, and dreamed of one day traveling the world. Both Eric and Zoe were innocent victims, their lives cut short by bullets that were never meant for them. Their families were left with memories and heartbreak, and the city was left to grapple with the senselessness of their loss. In the aftermath, the community came together in vigils and marches, demanding answers and calling for justice. The deaths of Eric and Zoe forced Washington to confront the harsh realities of youth violence and the failures of a system meant to protect its most vulnerable. Their cases became a rallying point, sparking difficult conversations about the human cost of gun violence, the responsibilities of lawmakers, and the urgent need for meaningful reform. The city's grief turned to resolve as people from all walks of life demanded change. The stories of Eric and Zoe are more than just tragedies. They are a call to action, a reminder that every life lost is a future stolen. Their memories now inspire a movement for a safer, more compassionate future for all. Eric Tarpinian Jackum came to D.C. for a prestigious internship, eager to make a difference. He was a bright young man with a future full of promise, driven by a desire to contribute to the greater good. His days were filled with learning the ropes of political life, meeting influential people, and dreaming of the impact he could make on the world. He was full of hope and ambition, ready to take on the challenges that lay ahead. Eric was not just another intern. He was someone who believed in the power of change and the importance of public service. On June 30th, his life was stolen in a burst of gunfire near the Mount Vernon Square metro station. It was a typical evening, and Eric was simply heading home after a long day of work. The streets were bustling with activity, people going about their lives, unaware of the impending tragedy. He was simply walking down the street, an innocent bystander caught in a violent dispute he had nothing to do with. The randomness of the violence was shocking, a stark reminder of how fragile life can be. The attack was sudden. A car pulled up, gunmen emerged, and chaos erupted. In a matter of seconds, the peaceful evening turned into a scene of horror. People scattered seeking cover as the sound of gunfire echoed through the streets. Eric was struck by a stray bullet. His dreams ended in an instant. The belongings he carried, now abandoned on the sidewalk, were a silent testament to the life that was abruptly cut short. His death sent shockwaves from Capitol Hill to his family in Kansas. The news of his passing was met with disbelief and sorrow, a young life full of potential taken too soon. Congressman Ron Estes and Police Chief Pamela Smith mourned the loss of a young man with so much promise. They spoke of his dedication, his passion for public service, and the senselessness of the violence that took him away. Eric's story became a symbol of the random, devastating nature of gun violence. Vigils were held, and his name was added to the growing list of victims, each one a reminder of the urgent need for change. He came to serve the nation, only to become a victim of its struggles. The flag at half-mast was a somber tribute to a life dedicated to making a difference, now lost to the very issues he sought to address. His loss left a void that can never be filled. The empty chair at the dining table, the grieving family members, all serve as a poignant reminder of the cost of violence and the enduring impact on those left behind. Eric's death was the result of reckless violence, not a targeted attack. The suspects, aiming at others, opened fire indiscriminately on a busy street. 79 shots were fired, turning a vibrant neighborhood into a war zone. 2 others, a 16-year-old boy and an adult woman, were also wounded. The sheer scale of the attack shocked the community and shattered any sense of safety. The Mont Vernon Square area, usually bustling and safe, was left scarred. Investigators faced a complex crime scene with shell casings, telling a story of extreme violence. Eric's death was a tragic consequence of a conflict he had no part in. His life was erased by bullets never meant for him. 4 days after Eric's killing, tragedy struck again, this time claiming Zoe Kelly on July 4th. Zoe, just 17, was shot while simply walking outside. Her life ended in a moment of senseless violence. Her family and friends were left devastated, mourning a vibrant young woman with dreams unfulfilled. Unlike Eric's chaotic shooting, Zoe's death was sudden and personal. Investigators soon discovered a disturbing link. Zoe's boyfriend, Naquan Lucas, was the primary suspect in both her murder and Eric's. Her loss resonated deeply with the community, highlighting the vulnerability of local youth. Zoe's story was a painful reminder that gun violence leaves empty chairs and broken families. Her death underscored the urgent need for answers and change. At first, Eric's and Zoe's murders seemed unrelated, but detectives soon uncovered a chilling connection. 18-year-old Naquan Lucas was a suspect in both killings. Lucas was charged with premeditated murder for both crimes, revealing a spree of violence that stunned the city. The arrest brought a measure of progress for grieving families, but also raised urgent questions about how such violence could escalate unchecked. The link between the cases showed how quickly violence can spiral, claiming multiple lives. The community was left grappling with the reality of a single suspect behind 2 devastating tragedies. The investigation revealed 3 young suspects, Naquan Lucas, 18, and 2 17-year-olds, Jalen Lucas and Kelvin Thomas Jr. All had prior violent records, exposing a troubling pattern of youth crime in D.C. Authorities questioned why these teens, already known to the system, were free to commit such acts. The rapid escalation, from prior offenses to murder, highlighted failures in intervention and accountability. The suspects' ages made the tragedy even more sobering, as both victims and perpetrators were so young. The cases forced a community reckoning with the root causes of youth violence and the shortcomings of the juvenile justice system. Families and neighbors demanded answers and effective strategies to prevent future tragedies. The cycle of violence had claimed too many young lives. In the aftermath of the shocking arrests, public officials did not mince words. Their frustration and disappointment were palpable as they addressed the city and the nation, determined to make clear that this tragedy was not an isolated incident, but rather the result of systemic failures that had been building for years. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, her voice resolute, described the killings as predictable. She placed the blame squarely on what she called a justice system that had grown too lenient, especially when it came to young offenders. Pirro argued that the system's repeated decisions to give second chances, rather than meaningful consequences, had created an environment where accountability was lacking. According to Pirro, this pattern of leniency had not only failed to deter criminal behavior, but had actually emboldened the suspects. She warned that when the justice system does not send a clear message, the results can be devastating, not just for the victims but for entire communities left to pick up the pieces. Her remarks quickly ignited a heated debate, both inside the halls of government and out on the streets. Critics of DC's juvenile justice reforms questioned whether the push for rehabilitation had gone too far, leaving the public vulnerable. Supporters, meanwhile, argued that reform was necessary to break cycles of incarceration and give young people a real chance at change. Police Chief Pamela Smith, visibly moved, mourned the senseless loss of Eric's life. She reminded the public that behind every statistic is a real person, a family shattered, and a community in mourning. Smith called for unity and compassion, but also for a renewed commitment to public safety. The city found itself at a crossroads, with passionate voices on both sides. Some demanded tougher penalties and stricter enforcement, while others insisted that true safety could only come from addressing the root causes of youth crime: poverty, lack of opportunity, and broken trust between communities and institutions. The deaths of Eric and Zoe became a powerful symbol, a flashpoint in the city's ongoing struggle to balance justice, compassion, and public safety. Vigils and memorials sprang up across neighborhoods as residents grappled with grief and anger. In urgent meetings behind closed doors, officials debated sweeping reforms. Their statements reflected a system under immense strain, with leaders from all sides agreeing that change was desperately needed, even if they disagreed on what that change should look like. Ultimately, these tragedies forced the city to confront difficult truths about youth violence, justice, and the kind of future it wanted to build. The path forward would not be easy, but the conversation had begun, and it was one the city could no longer afford to ignore. For the families, arrests brought little comfort. Their grief was unending. Eric's mother, Tamara Joachim, warned early on that the killers would strike again if not caught, a warning that proved tragically true. Her plea was both a call for justice and a warning to the community about unchecked violence. Zoe's family, devastated in private, shared their heartbreak through a GoFundMe page, describing her as a victim of random cruelty. Both families now face the long ordeal of the court system, reliving their pain with every hearing. Their loss is a permanent reminder of the true cost of violent crime. Their voices demand justice, not just for their children, but for all families at risk. The murders of Eric and Zoe left deep scars on Washington, D.C. The community's sense of safety was shattered, and debates erupted over crime, justice, and youth vulnerability. Residents questioned whether the justice system was too lenient and if enough was being done to prevent violence. For young people, the tragedies were terrifyingly close to home. Eric and Zoe were peers, not just headlines. Their deaths highlighted the dual reality. Some youth are victims, others perpetrators, all caught in a cycle of violence. The cases became a call to action, demanding more than grief, demanding real change. The quest for justice continues, but so does the work to build a safer community. Eric and Zoe's memories endure as a motivation for reform. Their lives, though cut short, will not be forgotten.